Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 7th annual Babson College WinLab finale. My name is Susan Duffy, and I'm the Executive Director of WinLab's home base, the Center for Women's Entrepreneurial Leadership here at Babson College. Whether you're joining us tonight online or you're here in the audience, you are all officially on the entrepreneurial leadership startup team of the venture known as the Finale Frenzy. Think about it. In the last 24 hours, together we've done what entrepreneurs do best. We reevaluated product market fit. We made a significant operational pivot. We altered our catering supply chain. And we rebranded a highly anticipated face-to-face celebration to what we know will be a successful virtual screening of our amazing 2020 WinLab cohort. Thank you all, from our generous judges, our online cheerleaders, our brave studio audience, the intrepid winners, our committed volunteers, our experts, coaches, and masterminds. You make it all work. And a sincere thanks to the sponsors of the WinLab, Bank of America, Burns & Levinson, and Wolf & Co. Together, we've changed the trajectory for scores of female founders who, in turn, bring innovation to the companies they create, the customers they serve, and the communities they build. And finally, in the thanks category, I offer a big shout out to our WinLab and Sewell teams. In addition to tonight's pivot, they've worked tirelessly over the last 5 months to make the lab a success. Tonight is incredibly important, not only because we have an opportunity to celebrate this year's cohort of winners, but also because this year marks the 20th anniversary of the Center for Women's Entrepreneurial Leadership. Sewell, as we affectionately call her, was the first of its kind at a premier business school. And this year marks 2 decades of educating, inspiring, and empowering women to transform their entrepreneurial potential into social and economic impact while we advance gender equity as a growth strategy for everyone. We prepare women to lead the world, and we prepare the world for women leaders. Now, in the spirit of leading the world, I'm delighted to introduce you to the 14th president of Babson College, Stephen Spinelli, Jr., PhD, and Babson MBA alum. I have a minute yet. From 1992. I'm going to tell a little bit about you. As I tell anyone who asks, he's the right man for the job. A lifelong and successful, and we all know that's important, successful entrepreneur, academic leader, and scholar. President Spinelli has spent his career at the intersection of academia, business, and philanthropy. He co-founded Jiffy Lube International, was chairman and CEO of the American Oil Change Corporation, president of Philadelphia University, and chancellor of Thomas Jefferson University. Earlier in his career, President Spinelli was a member of the Babson faculty. He served as provost for the Entrepreneurship and Global Management and was the director of the Arthur M. Blank Center. In 2011, he was inducted into the Babson Alumni Entrepreneur Hall of Fame. And when the WinLab has its Hall of Fame, he'll be inducted there too. Please welcome President Stephen Spinelli, Jr.
Hey, I follow directions well. You stole everything I was going to say. Now I have to be extemporaneous, and I'm terrible at that. It is really a terrific introduction because it does, I think you're exactly correct, that this exhibits the kind of entrepreneurial mindset that we believe is used to be a competitive advantage. I think now is almost a required competency of anyone who is running businesses. Frankly, anyone who is leading organizations have to understand how to react in a highly chaotic environment. And I've never seen an environment more chaotic than what we have now, from a socio-political standpoint to an economic perspective, and now even a healthcare perspective. So, I do think that the world has changed, and maybe permanently, that this is really a seminal moment And frankly, with that seminal moment, I think it makes Babson more important to not only business education, but I think higher education in teaching organizations how to interact in this kind of environment. I would also say that I need to just tell you a little bit about, remember, a college president is always selling. So I've got to tell you why Babson is so great and maybe why it's even going to be greater. The investment by Arthur Blank, for those of you who didn't hear, you haven't been around me, if you haven't heard that Arthur gave us $50 million. Now that's a lot of money. It's his biggest single investment that he's ever made in a not-for-profit. So he has very high expectations, and they really are a confluence. It was a confluence of beliefs that led him to this investment. Now, he's a graduate of Babson. He's the founder of Home Depot. He owns the Atlanta Falcons and the Atlanta United soccer team, if you don't know Arthur Blank. He's a world-class entrepreneur. But he's even better philanthropist. I've been doing this for a long time. I did it at Babson, then Philadelphia University, and then Jefferson, now back at Babson. And I've probably met with thousands of people and talked about what it means to invest in a college. He was more acute, more focused, more value-creating in his intent than anyone I've ever met. Now, at some level, I'm bragging because he gave us the money. So he said, what you're doing really is solving a problem and, I think, creating value and long-term value. And that's what we see in these companies. Listen, I want all of you to get rich for lots of reasons. One, I like you. And two, I want to ask you for some of it when you make it. But I do believe, in Babson's belief, is that value is necessarily both economic and social, and that you cannot create economic value or financial value without creating social value, that there's really no edge between the two. And when we created Seawell 20 years ago, and I will tell you, I was here when we did that. I take great pride in that. We thought it was the most bold thing in the world to do. Now it seems so obvious that we should have done it. It seems like who wouldn't do that? But we've built this 20-year now history in understanding what it means, in saying what are the special competencies that women bring and hurdles that women bring to entrepreneurship that can really create additional value. There is this leverage of what we've done here with the intellectual capital of Babson and the innate desire and demand of women that has really created some incredible businesses. Our businesses have raised millions of dollars. There's 80% of them still are in existence over 20 years. That's probably 4 or 5 times the national average of businesses and sustainability of businesses. The revenue growth has been incredible, the amount of jobs that have been created, and the intellectual capital they've brought back to Babson in the form of mentorships and gifts and teaching and all of that. So I am particularly interested in the Win Labs as a part of the Seawell concept. Again, when we started it, I thought it would be cool. It has gone so far beyond that it's startling. I do think that it is scalable on a probably global level. And I think the shaping of Seawell with the addition of, or the mentality around, probably more important, the mentality and curriculum around Win, and really leveraging and accelerating businesses. Really finding and creating business is a start. Growing and creating value is really what we want you to do. We want you to become highly successful, highly leveraged, highly impactful businesses. And if we do our job right with that kind of talent, I think there's real possibility for us to scale this across a whole ecosystem. The other part of Seawell that has grown, and I know it's a little bit beyond this event, but I have to tell you, is the Diana International project, which is, again, the first research project focused on female entrepreneurs. It really has created a network of scholarship that really gives intellectual basis to the curriculum around the world, not just for women, but for men and for all kinds of entrepreneurs in all kinds of countries. And when you put together the acute intellectual content of the Diana Project with the very intense market-facing behavior of Seawell in the Win Labs, you have the manifestation of Babson's ET&A, entrepreneurship, thought, and action, as a really holistic, almost three-dimensional perspective on what a college should be doing. Too often, and I think it's a strange phenomenon, colleges say, come here for 4 years, we're going to fill your brain, then go away. And we push our customers away. From a guy who changed oil, I wanted you to come back and keep changing oil with me. Why aren't we bringing people back? Why aren't we talking to them about a lifelong career in learning? And I think what you've accomplished here with this is really embracing the total person for their total lives. I think that there's a huge upside in Seawell for the individuals and for the institution and for society. And a really special thank you to Susan for the leadership that she's provided in the kinds of people that she's brought onto the team. And in case there is anybody else watching, you can be a part of the team too out there. And you can do it in a lot of ways. You can be a mentor, you can be a guide. You have winners that help. If you found it in your heart, you might give us a little bit of money too, and that would be okay. But there are you can mentor the teams, you can buy their products, you can invest in them. You can be a part of this ecosystem, and I think get great value from it too. So thank you for inviting me here. Thank you for doing what you do. Good luck.
All right. So I just want to thank President Spinelli again. He had to leave, but for making those comments and just spending the time with us this evening and highlighting our success of Win Lab, the Win Lab program, and Babson's commitment and contribution to women's entrepreneurship. I want to welcome our guests that are brave to be here today and those that are dialed in virtually, and to our winners. My name is Shakina Williams. I'm the Director of Global Initiatives for the Center for Women's Entrepreneurial Leadership. And I've had the honor for the last 5 months being the interim director of Win Lab Boston. So it's definitely been a great experience. How fitting it is to celebrate the successful completion of our 7th cohort of Win Lab during Women History Month, as we highlight the accomplishments of our female founders by celebrating this finale. It's been exciting to witness firsthand the traction each of you have made in your entrepreneur ventures. Your dedication, your drive, and your determination throughout Win Lab journey has been remarkable, if I can say the least. So thank you for hanging in there with us. Thank you to our coaches, our mastermind experts, our entrepreneurs in residence, our faculty, our staff, who have played a significant role with our cohort. Through our collective mentoring and leadership, these founders will continue to make a dynamic impact in their communities and around the world. Tonight, we will hear pitches from 3 of our finalists competing for a grand prize of $5,000. While the judges are deliberating, we will hear a 1-minute pitch from the other entrepreneurs in the cohort. So before we hear from the finalists, I want to introduce to everyone our judges for the evening. We have Jason Allen, who is Vice President of Investments for Mass Ventures. In his role, Jason sources and executes new investment opportunities, manages investments in portfolio companies, and engages with Massachusetts entrepreneurial and innovation communities. Mass Ventures funds early stage, high-growth Massachusetts startups. You hear that, ladies? As we move from concept to market. So thank you, Jason, for being here. Yes. Our next judge is Debbie Kleiman. She is the executive director, yes, of Arthur M. Blank Center of Entrepreneurship here at Babson, where she oversees programs such as the Butler Launchpad, Beta Challenge, and the Summer Venture Program. She has been an advisor to startups and an advocate to Boston innovation community for over 10 years. Our third judge, her first day here at Babson, is Claire Cecile Pierce. She is our new executive director of the newly formed Carrie Healy Murphy Center of Global Health Entrepreneurship. She holds 2 degrees of experience as a physician in global health, working across multiple countries to support health systems, strengthening health systems. Claire has served as Chief Medical Officer of Harvard Health Served and also a faculty at Harvard Medical School. Thank you, judges, for being here. So how is this all going to work? So each finalist is going to pitch for 5 minutes, and then there's going to be 5 minutes of Q&A from our judges. So judges, in your folder, you have your evaluation forms and places to take notes. After our third finalist has finished, you would hear from the other entrepreneurs in the program. They're going to give their 1-minute pitch, and the judges will come back to tell us who the winners are, first, second, and third place. So without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to ask everyone, if you could, pull out your cell phones and make sure they're on silent, because we are recording. We don't want to distract those that are pitching tonight. And I want to wish everyone, all the finalists, good luck. So we're going to start off with Arja Bella, and we'll welcome our first finalist to the stage. All right.
Hi everyone, I'm Prabharja Bedi, co-founder and CEO of Unfabricated. Did you know that the clothing and textile industry is the second largest polluter in the world? 47% of rural women in India are illiterate and living in poverty. Textile manufacturers generate heaps of material, which is in usable form, which end up in landfills due to informal business processes. At Unfabricated, we identify this usable waste and hand it over to an underutilized women workforce who create apparel, like the one I'm wearing, accessories, and home furnishings. We provide unique, one-of-a-kind designs that can be used for multiple occasions, enabling our customers to save a lot of money instead of spending them on multiple outfits, as well as make a style statement. All our products are handcrafted by women, enabling our customers to make an impact while doing something that they love, that is shopping. We use authentic and quality-approved fabrics as they're used by brands like H&M and Zara, and our price range is $50 to $210, unlike our competitors who charge over $280. We conducted our market analysis and a lot of personal interviews to identify that our target market is women in North America in the age bracket of 28 to 50 years, accounting for $16.21 billion. In terms of our market competitiveness, Unfabricated captures uniqueness as well as sustainability. Brands like Reformation and Pack, they basically create sustainable products, but their designs are very mainstream. However, brands like Talbot's create unique designs, but their products are not sustainable. And Unfabricated captures the value of both. In terms of our growth strategy and revenue model, we're starting with personal selling through trunk shows, trade shows, and pop-ups, as our year 1 is going to be proof of concept, while we also launch our e-commerce platform. In order to scale and grow, we will be partnering with other textile manufacturing firms, boutiques, and retailers to enter the B2B market, and thereby creating a global sustainable fashion brand. Our 2 key performance indicators are 1, the number of women we empower, and 2, the amount of waste fabric we reduce. We aim to empower over 250 women in a span of 5 years. In terms of our financials, we aim to sell over 2,000 units in 2024 with a revenue of $240,000 and gross profit of 95% and net profit of 38%. Unfabricated is a brand for women by women. My mother and I are co-founders of Unfabricated, who have diverse experiences yet complementing skill sets. By 2025, we aim to create a community of conscious and sensible fashion lovers while providing a lifetime shopping experience to our customers through a curated e-commerce platform. We are aiming at 3 UN Sustainable Development Goals: no poverty, responsible consumption and production, and gender equality. Traction during WinLab. We have gained operational efficiencies by partnering with an all-women production house in India called Master G. We are procuring the usable waste fabric from a family business entity at zero cost. We have received 6 pre-orders and are in planning for a first trunk show this month. We have also met with 10 potential advisors for our board of advisors and identified human resource needs for Unfabricated and for it to scale. Also, WinLab gave us the opportunity to do various showcases, and even though we are still pre-launch, we gained about 40 email signups. In terms of our goals for next 6 months, we will be focusing on doing our trunk show, delivering our pre-orders, and formally incorporating our company. Then we'll move on to launching our e-commerce platform, hire one pattern maker or sample maker full-time on hourly wages basis, and focus on social media marketing. In the next section from July to August, we will be creating our board of advisors with 5 members and participate in a pop-up show, especially the SOVA Vintage Market, as it is the right fit for us, for over 4 weekends. In order to reach these 6-month goals, we have prepared a budget of $5,600. And if we win the competition today, we're going to utilize the prize money towards meeting our 6-month goals. Thank you so much. And I have a few products here for you to show them to you so that you can touch and feel the fabric and see the designs. Thank you.
Yes, one question. First of all, congratulations on your success so far.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Can you tell me a little bit about the research and maybe some surveys that you did on the ideal customer? I see that you showed the total addressable market, but what are some of the characteristics of the types of customers that would buy this product?
Right. So I interviewed over 25 to 30 women. Earlier I started with an age bracket of 18 to 45 years. And when we conducted this market research, I have a little persona for you that we've created. Yeah. So in terms of a customer persona, we created a persona and we named her Powerful Pam. She's 38 years old. She's married with a 13-year-old daughter. And she is a major in psychology. She's a PR manager and an entrepreneur. Basically, she has a very good social circle where she basically likes to meet her friends, her family, as well as hang out with her office colleagues. So this is the kind of persona that we have created, and how we narrowed down through our market research and through our interviews was that we asked them about the designs and the quality of the products. So earlier we had 20 samples, and now we have narrowed down to 10 designs based on our market research. And also in terms of the price point, we interacted with them, saw and understood where they really shop. So these are women who would want to buy unique products. They would go to the boutiques and shop, or they would search for unique products online, something that can make them stand out of the crowd. So that's how we narrowed down to our designs. And also in terms of like their income level, so we said $150,000 per annum, because our price point, we're trying to keep it lower than other sustainable product companies. So that's how we went about the market research and the surveys and narrowed down to our target market.
Thank you.
Arja, great job.
Thank you.
Pitch has come a long way. Looking at your financials, I feel like they're so conservative. What needs to happen to make you feel more comfortable in projecting out faster growth, bigger numbers? Are there certain things that you're kind of in your head kind of holding back from your pitch presentation that would allow you to do more in a shorter amount of time?
Thanks for the question, Debbie. Definitely, yes. So as we're still pre-launch and we want to give the first year for proof of concept, the first trunk show that we're planning this month and also the first pop-up that we're going to do during the summertime is going to give us more clarity on how the products are coming around, what kind of products are being sold, how do our customers really buy the products. Like the 6 pre-orders that we also received were based on our pricing strategy at that time, and a lot of things have to come along. So in terms of my vision, I do aim to sort of touch $1 million in year 4. That is my vision. In order to meet that, scaling quickly through the e-commerce platform and through the retail network, retail and boutiques network is key for us. And before we enter that period, we need to make sure that we have the right SKUs. We do not complicate our process too much. Right now, if we have 10 designs, then we just focus on the ones that are the best selling and sort of work on the production around that. So I think the vision is, I have that vision. It's just that the first year is the proof of concept year, and I look forward to sort of scaling quickly once that is done.
We have time for one more question.
Great. Really great presentation. One of the things that you talk about is addressing some of the SDG, the goals, and you talk about women. And can you share what the manufacturing process would be like and how that would engage women?
Sure. So we have partnered with an all-women production house back in India. It's called Master G. And their idea or their concept is that they basically upskill women who move from rural areas or villages to cities to earn a family income or some income for themselves. So they are basically upskilling these women, and these women create the products for us. So my mother and I design the products. We get the waste fabrics from our family business entity and hand it over to these women. Now, these women have been skilled by Master G to, do the pattern making and create a sample for us. So once they create that sample for us, we go in person, check the quality, check the style, and sort of give them a tech pack to work on it. And then there is a whole setup that Master G has with 17 women who are working in their production house, and they create these products for us. Thank you.
All right, so for our second finalist, I want to introduce Ashley Taylor. Ashley Taylor from Taylor Custom Design.
Hi, I'm Ashley Taylor, co-founder and CEO of Taylor Custom Rings. This year in the United States alone, over 1 million couples will get engaged with a diamond ring. But diamond mining is a tainted industry that's caused immense human suffering and environmental degradation. What you might not know is that nowadays, real diamonds can be created using a lot of super cool technology and no mining. The FTC has ruled these grown diamonds to be chemically, physically, and optically identical to their mined counterparts. The market for lab-grown diamonds has already reached $2 billion just in the last few years and is expected to grow to $15 billion by 2035. 2/3 of millennials say that they will consider a grown diamond for their engagement ring, and 23% say they will definitely buy lab-grown. We have spent the last 4 years learning how to serve the millennial customer. We have created over 1,000 dream rings by working with our customers one-on-one. We've built a supply chain that includes key partners, the best suppliers, designers, and manufacturers in the industry. We have built a following of 45,000 people on Instagram, and last year we brought in $660,000 in revenue. We project revenues of $16 million by 2024. We will do this by leveraging what we have learned so far about our customer to create the perfect online diamond buying experience. We have the distinct advantage of being able to test our designs in front of our 45,000 followers and get instant feedback. Because of this, we've been able to design a line of rings that we already know people will love. Another of our key advantages is our focus on mine-free diamonds and gemstones and recycled precious metals. And of course, we are true to our original value proposition and create the perfect combination of curated designs and customizable options. We've created this online customizer tool that allows you to take an existing design and make it yours by changing the size and shape of the center stone, the type and color of metal, and it changes the image before your eyes. But on the back end, these are all cataloged styles, and we can actually fulfill 50 of these orders in the time it takes us to fulfill one truly custom order. This is what the competition looks like. It requires the customer to sift through thousands of diamond options in a database without the benefit of expertise or sometimes even pictures. Our online buying experience will be much more similar to walking into your local jewelry store, where you're greeted by a curated line of beautiful designs, and then an expert helps you to choose from 2 or 3 hand-picked diamonds. We have a clear marketing plan to bring people to our website. We've been very successful with Instagram giveaways. The one we ran last month cost us $1,800 and brought in at least $2,800 in profit in less than a month. We plan to replicate this before we launch our website, and then again after launch to drive traffic to the website. If I win the $5,000 tonight, it will pay for both of those giveaways and for our first round of targeted Instagram ads. It's been a busy 5 months. We've made 2 key hires, including an operations manager who has experience in the industry, a part-time CTO who is an e-commerce expert, and we have also made important improvements in both our marketing and operations systems. We've also brought in revenues of $360,000 in the last 5 months. It's taken a lot to get to where we are now, but we are just getting started. I need your help to create a diamond industry that cares about the planet and all of the people on it. So remember, make it yours, not mine. Thank you.
Great pitch, Ashley.
Thanks, Debbie.
Such a pro. So it's really exciting to see how much progress you've made since we last saw you.
Thank you.
And it's very, very thrilling. Talk to me a little bit about your go-to-market plan, though. You know, a direct-to-consumer play is very expensive. You know, besides buying Instagram ads, what else are you thinking about that can really make you distinctive? It's very expensive.
It can be, definitely. I think one of our proudest things so far in the business has been that we've been able to bootstrap this whole operation. And thus far, we have not paid for any of our exposure on social media or elsewhere, except for those giveaways, which has been pretty limited. So we're very excited about even a modest marketing budget. We'll really be able to make that go a long way because of our experience. Also, social media, it's interesting. There are diverse opinions about the role of social media, but really it's been our key avenue to reach our customer, and it's been very successful so far. So we're very excited to continue to build on our current success that we've already had on especially the Instagram platform by utilizing key influencers and by targeting our audience. So we already know who our customer is. It costs less money to get to her if we already can really hone in on who we need to talk to. So that's part of it. Of course, we will grow our marketing channels, and we'll, continue to build that strategy as we go. But building on the success that we already have makes a lot of sense for us, and we'll go from there.
Is there a lot of education involved in terms of helping the consumer understand what a mine diamond is?
There is, and I think that's another advantage that we have. People start following us because of our designs, and then over time they learn about mine-free diamonds, the benefits of lab-grown, what the price differences are, how they're graded, all of the specifics, they can kind of learn gradually over time as they fall in love with our designs. It's not uncommon for people to follow us for months or even a couple of years before buying from us. So that's a really nice benefit. It's also, even since last year, the awareness just continues to grow. And that's a real positive. It's not just coming from us. But I expect that that will continue to grow even more noticeably in the near future.
Thank you. You spoke about others who are doing lab diamonds, but you didn't talk a lot about your competitors. What are they doing? What's different about them?
Yeah, so the slide that I showed you with the database is Brilliant Earth. Oh, there we go. They are one of the biggest online retailers of lab-grown diamonds, but they do not exclusively sell lab-grown. They also sell mined diamonds. So that's a little bit of an interesting conflict. Also, they have that sort of database experience where you really kind of are overwhelmed, and it's a little bit, I think it just is a completely different feel from what we're going for. So there are several different advantages that we have over our competitors. One is our focus on mine-free. Another is our offering of lower priced alternatives. So if people fall in love with our designs but are priced out by the cost of a large diamond, they can still achieve them with, for example, a moissanite centerstone. We offer that curated experience, so we take out the cognitive overload of too many options. And of course, our designs are a huge advantage to us, and our ability to test them and how we've been able to do that over time. Thanks.
That was a great presentation. I'm searching for a couple different questions that I have that weren't already addressed. I'm wondering, just thinking a little bit more about the differentiation. Can you just say a little bit more about that? Is it the design? Is it your way of getting diamonds? What would you say is kind of the, not IP, but the core differentiator as to why they would come to you and not only these competitors, but Long's, any of these other, obviously there's the mined versus unmined, but I'm thinking from a potential customer perspective, what is the core differentiator?
Sure. I think that's interesting that you point out the sourcing, because that was a challenge early on. And so we actually built a tool to help us connect with all of the different suppliers in one place. Ended up saving us a lot of time on the sourcing end. And because of that endeavor, we've built really close relationships with these diamond suppliers, and we do have an advantage in sourcing as well. But as far as the customer experience, I think I see our greatest advantage as our deep knowledge of our customer. Not one place, I think, is really fulfilling all of the needs of the millennial customer. The rising generation doesn't care for blood diamonds. They're not interested in being a part of that. And I think that's becoming more and more clear to business in general, that business has to change in order to meet the standards of those who are now purchasing more and more. So I see that as a huge important point that we're addressing, in addition to the softer touches of our designs and our web experience and the customization options. But it really is a combination that makes our secret sauce house recipe.
Now to hear from our third finalist, Esther Wallace from Playa Society.
Hello, my name is Esther Wallace. I am the founder and CEO of Playa Society Sportswear, made for women who love to play. Girls drop out of sports during adolescence twice as often as boys because of a lack of representation for women in sports. But imagine if we all saw more examples of women who play. Imagine just how many more athletes like Serena Williams or Megan Rapinoe there could be. What if a brand could inspire a culture shift by doing the same for women's sports as Lululemon has done for yoga? Clothing is how we all express our identities in society. Yet there isn't a brand that reflects the identity of women who play basketball, soccer, softball, and other competitive sports. Women who play sports tend to have a specific aesthetic: comfortable and casual, sporty and relaxed. We call this a tomboy style. Women's sportswear offers a redundant uniform of sports bras and leggings. So men's sportswear is often where female athletes find our favorite t-shirts, sweatpants, and shorts. Unfortunately, neither category captures the essence of female athlete culture. Play a Society does. We fill the gap with sportswear made for women who play sports. We create a sportswoman category with an athletic aesthetic and design that unapologetically embodies the essence of female athlete identity. Currently, we specialize in t-shirts that fuel the women's sports social movement, like the one that I'm wearing today. The women's sportswear market is valued at $124 billion and growing at an average annual rate of 7%. But what is most impressive is the growth of the community of women that play sports. Research shows that 40% of athletes in the US are women. And since Title IX, girls' and women's participation in high school and college sports has increased every year. There's a market opportunity for more diverse sportswear for women, and Play a Society stands out with designs inspired by competitive sports. We are a direct-to-consumer brand selling primarily online, with additional sales at events like high school basketball tournaments, and through purchase orders with teams and organizations like the WNBA. The trademarked female athlete t-shirt represents 80% of our product sales. We've sold just under 9,000 units to date. Play a Society launched in 2018. We are profitable, projecting over $200,000 in sales this year and projecting to exceed $500,000 in sales by 2022. At the start of the Win Lab, my #1 goal was to resign from my full-time marketing role at MIT and of course promote myself to full-time CEO. I'm excited to have accomplished that goal, and if I were to win today's competition, the $5,000 would be used to support product development and promotion. Product development is our growth strategy and the key to gaining market share. We must continue to design t-shirts that make an emotional connection with our customer, and then introduce sportswear essentials like sweatpants and shorts that help female athletes express their identity. Play a Society aims to design an essential item within every female athlete's wardrobe, like the t-shirt that they wear excessively, or the shorts that they can't live without. We have built a community of athletes and allies, ambassadors and influencers, all whom are challenging gender bias every day and proving that there's no limit to what women can achieve. Our community is just as strong as our branding and our design. I didn't start playing basketball until I was 15. I couldn't imagine being an athlete before then simply because I wasn't exposed to women's sports. My story is just one example that representation is really important because girls cannot become what they cannot see. So I created Play a Society to change that narrative, to elevate women's sports, and to use sportswear as a platform to define female athlete culture, so that seeing women who play sports becomes as common as seeing women who do yoga, and so that t-shirts and basketball shorts become as essential as sports bras and leggings. Thank you.
Congratulations on your success and your new role as CEO. So can you help me understand what happens after the t-shirt product? Let's say you're starting to get a lot more traction. Every soccer player in every high school is wearing it. What other products? How do you keep the momentum going?
So once we establish ourselves as the brand that is kind of leading the charge with t-shirts designed for women's sports, designed to help promote that women's sports movement, then we plan to implement one at a time, products that complement t-shirts. So t-shirts is like the core because every female athlete's, I couldn't even count how many t-shirts I've collected, right? So introducing multi-sport shorts, introducing sweatpants. So different core products like that that help complement those t-shirts.
What do you see as your competitive advantage?
So our competitive advantage is our ability to say things that other companies might not say with our designs. So every female athlete is thinking, you know, aren't we just athletes? Most brands wouldn't necessarily make this statement. We're bold, we're unapologetic, and we're connecting with our community because we are our community. I've been the girl that didn't want to play. I've been the girl that played and had challenges learning how to play. Then I've been the elite player and the coach, and I've seen it from about every angle. And employing women like that who have those stories and those messages, really focusing on those stories and kind of like the underdog, right? Where every other sportswear brand is focusing on the women who are on the top of their game. We're giving a voice to those who might not be.
You've come so far, Esther. I mean, honestly, I think 3 months ago, you were terrified to give a pitch, and you don't look nervous at all now. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Great pitch. Question about, you mentioned direct-to-customer and direct-to-customer approach. What exactly is your approach? Like, can you share more about that? How are you going to reach everyone?
So the majority of our sales are through the Play a Society website. So 72% of sales go through our website. Organic traffic, we mostly use Instagram to just generate more and more traffic to our website. And then we do have some complementary other channels for sales. One that is growing is our team order, so that bulk sales. When teams order 10 t-shirts, they might get a discount, 20 t-shirts. We've had schools and organizations order 300 t-shirts or 200 t-shirts. So does that answer your question?
Have you thought of any strategic partners or allies that would really, help you grow exponentially over time? Feels like something, just given your background and your team's background, that there must be relationships you can harness.
So there's kind of two answers to that question. Right now, as we're getting started, these are some of the teams who have ordered 10 or more t-shirts from us. The WNBA ordered 100 t-shirts twice. We had a school in Connecticut that's an all-girls school order 300 t-shirts twice. We just partnered with Mercer University, and I'm really excited about this partnership. This month, we are selling t-shirts on our website with the Mercer University logo, and a percentage of proceeds go towards their women's sports endowment. So we're doing a little bit of where we're helping to actually really show that mission that we're dedicated to supporting women's sports. And then as we grow, we see potential partnerships with some of the larger sportswear brands that you might consider competitors, right? But right now, Nike is partnering with Off-White, and they're both brands that have sportswear, but they're able to come together and form these partnerships. Same with Adidas and Ivy Park. And Puma is one of the brands that is out there that hasn't done this yet, and we're looking at them and hoping that there's somebody that we can kind of build those relationships with to grow even larger.
I would even think there are a couple nonprofits that you could tap into.
We've worked with the Women's Sports Foundation last year, so continuing to always make giving back a component of the business.
Yeah, you just get the word out.
Oh yes, for sure.
All right, judges, are we ready? Tough shot. So the judges are going to follow Christina and deliberate. Thank you to our online audience for hanging in there with us. We got a couple of notes. We adjusted the camera so we can see our pitches. Okay. Oh, she's taking her merchandise. You don't go with her. All right, so judges, if we can go and deliberate. And while the judges are deliberating, we're going to hear from the rest of the cohort. Each of these entrepreneurs are going to give a 1-minute pitch about their business. Also, for those that are online and also those that are in the audience, all of our cohort, our entrepreneurs' information is in the program. So please contact them, purchase their products. Send them some money. We all love that. So we're going to start off with our 1-minute pitch with Melissa from Superfrau. Let me tell you, this cohort is amazing. They have all these unique businesses. I've learned so much about everything. Way, okay.
Did you know that for every 1 pound of cheese made, there are 9 pounds of its liquid co-product that's often wasted? You may have heard of it before. It's called whey. But whey in its natural liquid form naturally contains health benefits beyond the protein that it's recognized for. My name's Melissa Martinelli. My company, Superfrau, is not only disrupting the typically male-oriented sports drink market, but we're also making dairy more sustainable by taking this wasted liquid whey and converting it into valuable products. Fondly known as yogurt's outdoorsy sister, fresh whey is naturally packed with full-spectrum electrolytes, B vitamins, calcium, and lactic acid, which supports a healthy microbiome. It dates as far back as Hippocrates, the founder of medicine, who promoted it for its health benefits, and continues to be beloved in many countries throughout the world, including the Austrian Alps, which was our inspiration. Superfrau rescues fresh whey at the source, infuses it with unique flavors, and upcycles it into the perfect low-sugar, thirst-quenching electrolyte elixir. So ditch those sugary sports drinks and drink your whey.
Hello, my name is Isabel, and I am CEO and founder of Alfabeta. In Mexico, 20% of the population have diabetes. The problem is that only 1 out of 4 people that have the disease conduct a healthy diet, and do because of the hard time they have finding the right snack. This is why I created Alfabeta. Alfabeta are snack bars made with 100% natural ingredients. All of the ingredients we use are superfoods for diabetic. So they're fit for every person that has the disease, but also for health-conscious individuals. These snack bars will be sold through traditional channels like grocery stores and small independent stores, but also through a network of experts specialized in diabetes, like doctors, endocrinologists, and nutritionists. I just received the first batch of product samples, and I'm tweaking the recipe through the feedback we got in the focus groups. I would love to talk more about the idea, so if you have any questions, please find me. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Trish DiGirolamo, and I'm the founder of Springtide Advisory. Springtide is a financial consulting firm that provides fractional CFO services to founders who have recently raised or are looking to raise capital. Some examples of services we might provide are creation of financial projections if you're preparing for your pitch, cash to accrual conversion to get your books ready for investors, and cap table and cash flow management pre and post fundraise. Financial lingo can be very confusing and overwhelming. That's why at Springtide, it's our mission that every founder that we work with will not only have the financial infrastructure in place that they need to be successful, but also the ability to effectively communicate their financial potential to potential investors. If you're interested in working with me or have any questions, you can contact me at trish@springtideadvisory.com. And thanks for everyone who came out tonight.
Today, the baby boomer generation is aging, increasing the demand for long-term senior care facilities. These facilities are facing unique demands today. Their residents are demanding a more personalized care process, their families are demanding consistent communication, and they're facing a shortage of professional caregivers in the United States. These facilities are turning to technology to solve their problems. Meet Dottie. Dottie is an IoT and software solution that provides an ecosystem of actionable data points for senior care facilities. Dottie is a touchscreen device located in each resident's room and common room, and small tags put on their residents' important items and staff member IDs. Residents receive instant item reminders as they leave their room, and the devices track both residents and staff throughout the facility. Using these data points, Dottie provides the facilities actionable recommendations to their staff focused on resident safety, tracking resident behavioral data, and optimizing their staff. My name is Megan Priest. I am founder and CEO of Dottie, and my team is determined to humanize the senior technology industry and provide actionable data for professional caregivers based on my grandfather's experience with Alzheimer's disease. Today we are looking for innovation partners who are facilities looking to become thought leaders in the senior care industry to work with us over our 1-year development timeline. If this sounds like you or anyone you know, please email me at meetdottie@gmail.com. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sheena Collier. I am the founder and CEO of the Collier Connection and the creator of Boston While Black. Boston is the hub, the home of top universities, fastest growing industries, but it doesn't even rank in the top 10 of where Black adults are moving across the country. Black people rank Boston as least welcoming among 8 major cities, and every year hundreds of Black grad students move here, get top tier educations, and leave the city to start their careers elsewhere. Boston While Black is a membership network for Black graduate students and professionals who move here for opportunities, but don't feel a sense of belonging and have to navigate multiple channels to figure out where they fit into the city. Through a cohort model, members have access to a private online social network, curated opportunities to explore the city together, and connections to personal welcome ambassadors and professional mentors. We partner with universities and employers to not only engage their current students and employers and employees, but also use Boston While Black membership as a recruitment tool to attract future talent. Imagine a Boston where Black grad students and professionals feel valued, know how to contribute, and have a roadmap to find their tribe, grow their network, navigate the city, and have fun. When it comes to Boston's economic future, we are betting on Black. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rachel King, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of EditMe. I've spent the last decade working in the video production industry, and throughout my career, I've witnessed the evolution of video. If you've been online lately, then you've probably noticed that video is everywhere. Nowadays, if a business wants to stay relevant and grow their audience, they need to be creating videos for all of their channels. Their website, paid ads, social media, internal communications, recruiting, training, and more. The problem is that the traditional video production process is extremely expensive and time-consuming. So most businesses just can't afford to do it. And that didn't make a lot of sense to me because nowadays everyone is walking around with an extremely high-quality video camera right in their pocket. And user-generated video powered by smartphones is a super effective way to connect to millennials and Gen Z. Understanding all of this, we created EditMe, a SaaS platform that unites proprietary technology and human creativity and enables brands to collect and produce user-generated video content. Using our digital tools, businesses can create videos with their real community of customers, employees, brand ambassadors, and fans. Our streamlined software simplifies and modernizes video production. We make it easy for brands to connect through authentic video content. We're a bootstrap company and have been able to double our revenue from 2018 to 2019. And we're only at the starting line of a huge opportunity. The total addressable market for businesses outsourcing video production is $32 billion per year, and that's only in the US. I am honored to be the recipient of the Bank of America seat sponsorship and really appreciate Bank of America sponsoring the WinLab Boston. It's great to know such a large corporation understands how important it is to support female founders and is supporting the Boston entrepreneurial ecosystem. Learn more about us at editmate.com, and thank you again to Bank of America.
So the judges are still deliberating. So, Susan, do you? All right. So we're going to take a little break. We have food, but please just stay in the room for now. But what we're going to do is just wait, talk amongst yourselves. Yes. Thank you. So give us 1 or 2 minutes while the judges are still deliberating, but let's please help me in congratulating this cohort and the fantastic job that they've done. Thank you, ladies. As Susan mentioned, as she started off, kicking off this finale, we as WinLab and Seawell took this challenge of the coronavirus and things shutting down just as an opportunity to be innovative and just really highlight the hard work that our founders, our female founders, have gone through for the last 5 months, and we didn't want this opportunity to pass. So again, thank you all for coming to help us celebrate with them. Thank you all that are online, and thank you for the notes of helping us to adjust the cameras. We appreciate that as well. But that's what we do at Seawell and also through WinLab. We just take opportunities to help female founders to be stronger, to have great opportunities, to have different platforms. So if you're looking at ways to help support and so we can continue on the great efforts that we're doing, shameless plug, we are definitely always looking for sponsors and also donations so we can continue doing all our great work here in Boston and also Miami as well. So our information is on the program. I'm quite sure we have it somewhere that you can contact us with any information. Also for those that are in the audience or online that want to apply for our upcoming cohort in the fall, applications will be out late fall, so definitely look out for that. If you have any questions or you want to talk to anyone in the staff, we'll be here for another hour after or so after we're finished. So if you can just meet someone next to you. And again, thank you to our coaches, our masterminds, our faculty. We have sponsors here, our board members as well that are in the audience as well. We appreciate you all taking the time out this evening. So give us a few minutes and we'll be back. Thank you.
Sorry, this is unprepared, but thanks everybody for being here tonight. This was a great opportunity for us to connect with our community. And for those who are tuning in online, a lot of us in the program are really looking forward to this event to have meaningful conversations in person with people. So we all, I think most of us made ourselves available on LinkedIn. If you want to direct message us, we can connect for over Zoom, 15 minutes. It would be great to actually continue with these connections online if possible. So thanks.
Thank you, thank you. See, our judges are coming back. Oh, that's okay. So I'm going to ask Susan to join me up front. Debbie. Oh, I know. You join us in front. Oh, okay. You're like, what do I have to do now?
Announce?
Yes.
Okay. So honestly, I can't tell you this. First of all, we had 8 minutes to talk about this, which is absurd. Second of all, we literally could not agree, and we all had like a really very hard time. And I know people say that all the time, but this is like legit. We really had a hard time deciding. So I want you to know how impressed we all were with your pitches and how poised and mature. And we were super impressed with the part where you had to answer Q&A, and you all did such a brilliant job thinking on your feet, pulling out appendix slides, being ready to respond to any questions. So for me, that was the most impressive part of each of your pitches, is that you were ready to go. You had that appendix slide that could address the question from the judges. Very cool. So, sorry, I like to talk. Give me a mic. So number 3, unfabricated. Congratulations, Arja. I'm happy to present you with a check for $1,000.
Bye, Jason. Yep. Jason, we'll invite you to the podium to announce our second prize winner.
And our second prize winner is Taylor Custom Rings.
clear. Her first day on the job.
So, congratulations, Playa. This was really an incredible pitch and a great product. So, come on in, you have the first prize.
Yes, thank you, Debbie. One more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. Yeah, much better. Here, here.
Again, everyone in this room, particularly you ladies, are winners. And we want to thank everyone for participating online here in the auditorium. What we do here matters. What these women bring to life through their ability to see something that needs to happen, to be able to see what currently is, what could be, and how to get there. This is how the world changes. And everyone who's here, whether you're a coach, a mentor, a sponsor, a friend, a colleague, a supporter, we are all part of the tribe that brings these female founders to the world and the important mark that you make. So thank you for what you've done and what you will do. And thanks to all of you for being part of this community. Now let's all go and celebrate and have something to eat and know that this is just the beginning. Congratulations. I just really want to shout out to Shakina and Robin and Debbie and Christina and Debbie and Claire and Jason and Smyra and Ashley and Valerie and everybody on the See Well and Win teams and all the mentors and coaches and sponsors that are here. Really, it's such a village. So thank you all. Thank you.
All right. So we have plenty of food. Please don't